It's that time of year again. Time for me to get back on my ranting bullshit. So today we have a special guest. Okay, no, look. So I play a lot of FPS video games, and let me tell you something, right? No matter where you go, no matter who you are, device will not make or break you. There are very few times it will. It will only break you if your device cannot run the game at least 60 Hz. And this goes for CSGO, OSU, even mobile games, right? But there's been a bunch of debate from a bunch of fucking, smooth brains in the Call of Duty mobile community about 4x3, about iPad versus iPhone. Look, listen to me, right? If I am going to talk straight stats, the iPad has a lowered FOV because 4x3 can genuinely not see as much as 16:9. If you are playing on an iPhone, you do have the advantage. Even though your phone is a little bit smaller and it's harder to laser people at range, right? That's the only downfall of a phone, really. But people can get around that if you're good, right? If you're good enough, you can get around that. Trust me, I have a friend that plays 3-finger claw and he can shit on me. I'm an iPad 2018 player. He can shit on me with 3 fingers and an iPhone 6 Plus, right? And that's because what it really comes down to is player. You will never lose a fight because you're on phone and they're on iPad, or you're on iPad and they're on phone, or you're on phone and they're on phone, or you're on iPad and they're on iPad. You lost because you were not better than blah, blah, blah. You lost because you were either not better than them, weren't ready for their push, or a multitude of things that do not include your device, right? And I've seen a bunch, it's just so smooth brain. If you know anything about, how the devices are designed, 16:9 can see more than 4:3. And I will have a photo right here, not of the Call of Duty mobile, but this is genuinely what it is, right? This is how it works, right? And I saw somebody say that on iPad the models are stretched, and listen to me, asshole. Okay, 4:3 is usually used as a stretch dress, which means people with a 16:9 computer monitor will put on 4:3 as the resolution, and it'll stretch it to the edges, making player models bigger. Now, when you are playing on an iPad, aka 4:3, and it's set on 4:3, right? It's set on 4:3. You can't change that. It is not stretched because you can't stretch 4:3 to fucking 4:3. That does not make sense. iPad models are not stretched. They are the same thing, but you are literally missing out on your corner vision, right? That is how it works. And I'm not saying here that phone is way more of an advantage. It's not. But statistically, phone is better. You should be using phone, right? Because trust me, there are a bunch of gunfights, of games. There are a bunch of gunfights I would have taken if I was on a phone, because I would have been able to see them in the corner of my view, right? Because at the end of the day, everything is subjective. Everything is player to player, right? If you want to be good, you have to play. Device is something you worry about once you've hit a skill ceiling, right? And it's sad that a pro player gets so mad that you go to fucking Twitter to bitch about a scrim that you lost. You know why you lost that? Because they were better than you. It's not because of the device they were playing on. I'm saying this full shade. You know who you are. I saw the tweet, and it pissed me off, because I have been playing mobile games for, not even mobile, I've been playing video games for a very long time, right? For the small amount of time I have been alive, I have been playing video games, right? And I put a whole thing out on Twitter like a fucking loser, let me tell you, right? As long as 60 Hz as long as it is locked to 60 Hz on every device, and there's one device that is an advantage, it's a phone, by the way. Right, because iPad is easier to have a good middle aim, right? To just have right down the center, it is much easier to be more accurate. And that is because there is less of your peripheral vision you have to keep track of, right? 4:3 is cut off more of, it cuts off 16:9, right? It is the same height normally, even though I know 4 and 16, which is shut the fuck up. Or 3 and 9, right? But I'll put the photo back up, right? It's at the corners is where 4:3 misses out, right? Which means if you want to play a very aggressive playstyle, you should pick up a phone, because a phone will be able to see in those corners, right? I'm not saying either is easier to aim on. I've heard people say phone is easier, and I've heard people say no, it's harder to switch, right? The real issue, I'm sorry, I sound like a retard. Okay, look, the real thing you should bitch about is 16:9 tablets, because they have a huge screen and they don't have the 4:3 visibility. Suck my dick. I have been doing this for a very long time. I do not care if you're a pro player. This is how fucking resolution works, right? It's simple. Simple how resolution works, okay? Just listen to me for 1 second. I like to complain a lot when I lose gunfights, but I will never lose a gunfight because another player is playing on a different device than me. That will never be the fucking case in the history of my... Okay, there actually is one exception. If there's a phone player, he can see me, he can literally stand inside of my vision and I won't be able to see him. He can stand where he can see me, but I can't see him. That is the only case. It's not the other way around, people. It's not. Look, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of shade. Prove me wrong or prove me right. Simple as. Yes, I'm mad because I'm doing fucking... Look, I'm about to scrim. Don't worry about it. But just trust me. So, peace.